Hi guys, and welcome to another Dragonheir Silence God video. Guys, today we are taking on the Blood Prince, Xenos, the Grave of Curse, and we're gonna use a champion that is, in my opinion, a bit underrated, especially when it comes to this fight, because it brings a lot that is needed over here, and it free up space to other champions to do more damage. So we are taking on stage 9. I am already farming stage 9 when I can. I'm not farming a lot gear, but when I'm using energy here, I'm farming stage 9. And I want to share with you my comp. So let's jump into it straight away and I can show you the champion I'm using. We are using Clovis here. Clovis is a surprise, not many use it. Is considered mostly an arena champion. But for this fight in particular, it brings something that is really useful. Well, it brings, first of all, the increased defense aura, 24%, exactly the same of the one that we can use in any other dungeons from Furbat or Garius. But the difference is that he has an ultimate skills that gives us the attack penalty 2 on the boss, and it also reduced the ultimate energy by 20%. Now that 20% doesn't really work up as being 20%. I'll show you later in the fight. It's 20% of the section between skills, really. But it still gives us that upper edge when it comes to rotation of skills. It's difficult to get below 18 seconds with the gear we have so far without having, all the champions build up and having massive amount of runes rolled up to have skill haste and bring those ability down. And as you can see, my champions has an ultimate of 19.3 seconds. But I'm getting it below 18 seconds using the Spiritual Incense Burner. And this will give me 10% more ultimate energy every time I use it. And therefore it will be below the 18 second. It is built with the protection set. I'm trying to protect my team. Obviously, it doesn't have a crazy high defense because I need to give him some accuracy of sort to land the decreased attack and to be sure that is gonna land that reduced ultimate energy. But I thought it would be interesting for you to see something different that doesn't use the usual tanks, that Isolde, Garius, Furbat, the usuals. This guy can do the job if you've pulled them, and you can work around and use it probably in other dungeons, but today we're going to have a look only at this one. With him, I am bringing Volresh to do the decreased defense or a defense penalty. He's also been built with the Zero helmet. The Zero set is gonna give the increased attack to my champions, so we're gonna be able to do more damage. He has a defense chest. I want to contain the amount of damage my champions are taking, and I want to get the ultimate skills to be as close as possible to the 19 second. I need it to be 19 seconds because a workout 19 second works for me due to the amount of ultimate energy that Clovis is going to push back on the boss. But you're going to see all the skill timing as well on the tables for all the champions. He has a defense chest and a defense gauntlet. Really there only to give increase attack to all the champions, place the block buff on the boss so it doesn't build up those crit rate and crit damage buff. They are otherwise going to inflict more damage on us and build more shields and make the fight much longer. We're going to protect our team using Adolphus. Adolphus is built with Enlightenment. I have him with an Enlightenment chest and an HP gauntlet. He's going to try to build as big as possible of that shield. He's going to protect us to the hit of the boss. And I'm bringing 2 damage dealer. My 2 damage dealer are going to be Bledin. Bledin is built with high crit rate, as close as possible to 80%. It's going to give basically the ice crystals to Gertin, so she's going to do more damage on the boss with her battle skills as well. And he's going to build his own damage as well. The other damage dealer, of course, is none other than Gertin. She is the best damage dealer, boss melter of the season. If you haven't seen it, I've done a video that will probably be published the day before this one, where I'm using her to destroy the Grave of Venom. It's early wipe as we are like on day 20 something, and I am already farming Grave of Venom in less than a minute 30. And with this comp, we getting a pretty decent time on the Grave of Curse too. Now, if your gear is not as good as mine and you're struggling to sustain the hits from the boss, something that you can do is to drop one of your DPS. Let's say you're gonna drop Bleeding, and you can bring someone like Nathaniel. Nathaniel in particular, for the reason of bringing the defense up buff. That is gonna help your team deal better with a hit from the boss. He also brings some shield, so if you time it right, he's gonna shield before Adolphus, so you're gonna have a massive heal from Adolphus. If you don't have Nathaniel, you can bring a rare actually to do this job, and that rare is none other than Megan. Megan has recovery over time and defense 1 on her ultimate. You have to place it correctly to do the job, but she's gonna basically do the same job that Nathaniel does. Keep your team healing back and having the increased defense. I don't need to do that because my gear is good enough to be able to run it with this team. So we're gonna use this team straight away, and I'm gonna show you the best option that I have and the best time that I have. So let's jump into the timing first, and I'll show you what it means when it comes to timing over here. Because with that pushback from Clovis, we're gonna need to time everything at 19 seconds. I don't care what my DPS are doing. The main skills that I need to times are Clovis is gonna hit at 12 seconds and then every 19 seconds. This is gonna allow my team to work always on the same schedule. If he fails to land that decreased ultimate, obviously the run can fail. I haven't seen it done yet. Touching wood, it's not gonna happen on the run. We're gonna run on this video. But then you're gonna have Adolphus doing it at 14.5 seconds. This is just by chances and try. It works for me. You can try maybe 1 second, half second more, half second less. And every 19 seconds again is gonna build that shield up every single time. And you're never gonna fall out of sync. Voresh is gonna do it at second 23. Is gonna be before basically the hit on the second rotation when he puts up this buff. We can't put it up before the boss put up his buff on the first rotation, and therefore we're gonna have to wait an entire rotation. Now, sometimes Voresh is good enough on his battle skills to remove both buff from the boss. Sometimes it doesn't. It really doesn't matter. What is going to happen is if you remove it on the first rotation, your runs is going to be slightly faster. If he doesn't remove them, you're going to soak up the hit on the first rotation, and then you're going to fall in sync from the second rotation onwards, and you're never going to have to deal with the shield again. So in regards with the gear, we already seen what we've done over there. So I'm not using any food here. I'm just gonna show it as it is. There is no enhancement from anything. Let's jump into the run and let's see how it plays. You see those two champions are going to run up forwards. Let's open also the damage board over here. And we start hitting the boss straight away. Building a ice crystal. Clovis has placed a decrease attack and push back the turn meter. And now we are basically taking damage on the first hit because we not remove the increased attack, unfortunately. But from this point onwards, we are on sync with the boss, and we don't have to care about any buff whatsoever. We don't have to care about anything else he's gonna do. We're gonna decrease the turn meter again. He placed the decreased attack. He's gonna hit us, and the shield is gonna build. Is gonna be so small that Gertin and Bleeding are gonna take care of it so quickly that it basically doesn't matter. As I said, if your gear is not good enough and you're struggling to sustain those hits, you can always drop one of your damage dealer and build more sustain, increasing your defense if you have a champions that bring that skill. Having someone that does damage reduction, for example, there are champions with that skills as well. Anything that helps you sustain that ultimate hit. this skill over here, because any damage you take, the boss will transform into a shield. And the less damage you take, the more you're able to contain that hit, the better it is. And the quicker your run is going to be. So as you can see, we are doing easy job with this boss. We are going through his health very, very quickly. Damage dealer is healthy enough. We have enough healing to recover any damage we're taking, which is very, very minimal, as I said, with exception of the hit on rotation 1. And we stay in line. Everything happens at the same time on each rotation of the boss. And we've got it down in 1 minute 39, which is actually my best time. So, okay, quite lucky to get that on camera as well. This is 1 minute 39. I think is a pretty decent time if we consider that we bring in only epics over here. We don't have any legendary artifact to improve our damage. Some of the champions are not even 100, which if you bring them up to 100, you have a good bonus on the stats. And yeah, this is it pretty much, guys. There's nothing more to show. I think it's quite interesting to try to use these champions that sometimes are underrated. I find Clovis to be the best option over here because, as I said in the beginning, it frees up a slot to bring another DPS instead of running only one DPS. So what do you guys think? What are the comps you're running on this boss? Do you have any other champion that you think will fit nicely for this fight? And if so, please leave a comment down below. And if you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God.